Awesome. So I'm here with Christopher Hughes. He is a relationships done different facilitator, and we're just going to chat a little bit about what RDD is for him and what his favorite tools are, and what it is he would like to invite people to with regard to relationships. So, Chris, you're an RDD facilitator. What would you say your favorite RDD tool is?
Gosh, okay. So I guess my favorite RDD tool would be getting people to look at the fact that no two relationships need to be the same. The other thing I think I really admire, like appreciate and use myself as a tool is recognizing that relationships have different components to them and aspects. And you need to be clear with what those components are that you're looking for. Like, it's not like a shopping list, like you want someone who's 6 feet tall, who has a certain income, who has blonde hair and blue eyes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like looking at the qualities that somebody has that they bring to the table and what those are that you're looking for. Like, I recently met somebody and we had a lot of fun together, but he has a relationship with somebody else. He's in an open relationship, so he's allowed to play and explore with other people, but he can't have a committed relationship with anybody else. That's fine. And the gift of this guy for me was he showed me a few things like energetic qualities or components that I went, you know what, this would kind of work for me. He's really smart in a way that is not just about intellect or book smart. He's switched on and has something interesting to say, a unique perspective that stimulates me. He's also quite creative and cultured in a similar way to me, but he has similar values to me. It's not just about interests, it's about how we see the world. And I was like, there's some qualities that this guy has that works. He also, the sexual side of things for us, we're very compatible. So those elements were all there and that really worked. And RDD kind of shows us this. RDD says, have a look at what would actually work for you and don't expect it all to come from one person. And this guy kind of taught me that. Could he be everything in my life and my one and only and my twin flame? Well, that's another thing RDD kind of like shows you maybe is a bit of a fallacy, but he did show me like some things that would work for me in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny as you're talking, I'm recognizing how much people see relationship, and especially the one relationship, the most significant relationship, your life partner, whatever that may be, as such a destination, like such a finality or such an achievement. And I know a lot of people either seek it out and make it their life's mission, and once they have it, they stop creating, or they avoid having it because they're afraid that if they ever do allow themselves to have that, they'll stop creating. And it's with RDD, so much of it is the ongoing creation of relationships. And you were saying to me earlier, before this part of the interview, that that if we lived in the world alone, we wouldn't have to worry so much about how we are with other people. So like, why do you think it's so important that we start to actually educate ourselves on these tools and add these tools to our lives? Like, what does it add to be able to use these tools in your relationships?
Well, it's as you said, it's an ongoing evolution. Like, none of us are the same one day to the next. So you may have thought, oh, that's so and so, and they always are the same and they always operate the same. But that sameness, it's a projection. It's not real. Every
Mm.
day is a blank slate with ourselves and with everybody. So recognizing that, I think, is a gift.
Mm.
The world's a messy place, and relationships aren't so cut and dry as we think they are. And when you make them cut and dry and you go, okay, well, this is my relationship with so and so, you limit what it can be. I'm always looking at what else I can explore with the people in my life, what else is available and possible. Yeah, unfortunately, people are looking for a relationship to complete them and tell them that they have value and make them feel more secure. But I'm looking for relationships that are evolutions, that are opportunities for growth, that are avenues for exploration and creation, and show us more of who we could be in the
Mm,
world and what would be available.
that's beautiful. Yeah, a relationship as an avenue to have more of you and not as one where you have to cut yourself off in order to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, revolutionary. And you've already demonstrated a lot of how you're different in your perspective with relationships. And I know you have probably taken relationships, done different classes with Simone, and I know you're also great friends with her. What is it that you think she uniquely brings to the table with relationships, or what have you gotten out of, your facilitation and relationships with her? And what is your vision, if there's anything to add, for relationships in the world?
Yeah. The thing that, like, whether this is with relationships or business or whatever Simone is doing, what I think I really admire about her so much is that that is one diligent being. She is willing to put the work in, and she's willing to have uncomfortable conversations, and she is willing to apply the tools that she has available to her greatest capacity. She's always reaching for bigger and more and better, and never like willing to just chill and be like, no, I got this, it's fine, I don't really need any more. She's always asking for bigger and greater. So whether, as I said, whether that's relationships or not, that's that I find so inspirational with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the rest of your question.
Well, for you, it was a little, you've already elaborated a lot on it, your particular, what you see possible with relationships.
Yeah.
And also you said, yeah, please.
It's got to be about creation. Like, it may sound like esoteric or weird or remote when I talk about this, but what I've been playing with and exploring recently is the whole idea of ownership. See,
Mm,
Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, of which Relationships Done Different is a part. I've worked in and created with him for a long time now, as well as Simone Milasas. And something I've noticed recently about him is made me gone, huh, there's something to this. That guy doesn't need to own anything. Yes, he loves to collect antiques. And yes, he has 16 to 20 different businesses, and he's always doing different things and creating different things. But he never is doing it for him. He's doing it for everybody. Here's a little story and an example. Right now, he's working really diligently on creating this resort in Costa Rica called El Lugar. And it requires capital, it requires funding to keep going and keep growing and get close to finishing. And he went, well, I'll put some of my ranches and houses up for sale to finish paying for it. And I went, oh, that's a good idea. Then you won't have to deal with investors. And investors can be such a pain in the ass because they've each all got their point of view and how they want to see things done and what their needs are. And he said, oh,
mm,
I don't mind having investors and dealing with all that. And I said, why? And he said, because if I invite them to be a part of this, they can all prosper as well alongside me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for everyone who wants to be involved. And I went, wow, that is such a different world. Because he doesn't need to own everything and have it be all his. He's willing to create with everybody that wants to come and play. And that's what I see. And that's what I would like different, if we didn't need everything to be ours, our people, our money, our ideas, our projects, it could belong to all of us, and we could invite everyone who was interested to be a part of it and play. That's how I want to live. Like you asked me before, I can't remember if it was a different conversation before we started recording about inclusion and about
Mhm.
what that is for me. And that's it. It's about including everyone and everything in your world so that it's a bigger, richer tapestry. It's, you know, the weft and the weave of the fabric of your life is more dynamic, richer, more evolved if you're willing to have more flavors and more colors and more textures as part of it. And that's to me the beauty of going out and engaging with the world. Yeah, if we lived alone and didn't have to deal with anybody, would it be easier? Well, kind of. We wouldn't learn that much though. We wouldn't learn much about who we are. We wouldn't have to look at some of the things that we don't want to look at that other people present to us. And it would all be a little bit beige. It would all be a little bit vanilla. When we are forced to include other people and play with them, create with them, we get a bigger view of what the world could be, and we get exposed to different possibilities and points of view.
Yeah. Thank you so much for you always really you move me when you talk about these things because you give it more than just lip service. And that's what I find with these classes is there's a totally different sense and space of embodying these realities. And you are such a brilliant facilitator of that. And I just want to say thank you for choosing that.
Thank you. You are as well. The gift that you are with these things is always inspiring. Your vulnerability is next level. I don't have a place to judge. Like
Mm.
relationship has been the area where I've been the craziest, the most insane with what I've chosen and what I have had to deal with. And it's where I've been like rocked to the core with frustration and upset and anger. But as an upside, it's where I've also gotten to look at
That's how it feels when you're in the midst of it.
midst of the relationship angst. It's where I've actually also gotten to look at who I really am and what I'm really choosing. And it's given me a lot of me as a result. So I used to think I'm nuts. Why am I facilitating on relationships? I don't have anything to offer people, but I do in the questions I'm willing to ask, not the answers that I have.
Yeah. Thank you so
Amen.
much. Yeah. Speaking of people. Yeah, thank you so much. Do you have any classes coming up with RDD or any of the other classes that you facilitate?
Well, the other specialty that I facilitate a lot that's related is on, well, actually, I really think that all the specialties that I deal with are kind of related because the one that I do the most is right voice for you, which is um, about engagement and about how you go out in the world and engage and share who you are with people and also receive. To me, both relationship and that your like creative output in the world that Right Voice talks about, they both really are about intimacy. In the intimacy of letting people into your world and letting you out into their world and allowing yourself to be received both have that in common. So there's a lot of Right Voice classes coming up. Not so many RDDs on the schedule yet, but that may change. And then I do sex classes, and those also are pretty cool and dynamic. And of course, sex and relationship, there's a big part there too. Mm.
Truly, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, Chris. I'm just so grateful for you. And yeah, I can't wait to see what else can be opened up in the world through these classes and these tools. Yep.
Exactly. Back at you, sister.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.